When I came here 7 years ago, I think my plane landed November 1st, 2016. Um, but what I had done is I had worked for about a year and a half, just saving everything I could put back, and I sold everything that I had in America. There is nothing in America that I own or have over there, and I sold everything. And I even had an old, I think it was a 71 or 72 GMC short bed pickup. And a cousin of mine bought that for me. And I used the money that I made from that old truck to buy an old Kia Avella whenever I first got here. And my plan was to marry Lynn and just feed kids and go around as many places as I could, sharing our testimony and preaching the message of love. And then whenever the money run out, I'd put back just enough money so I could get a ticket to get back to America. And when the money ran out, my plan was to go back to America and work. And while I was working, support Lynn and support her feeding children. And on top of that, try to save up money to where I could come back and visit Lynn and my family here and get to be part of the ministry. Maybe once every year and a half or so, I'd get to come here and stay for maybe a month and then go back. And that was what I was expecting my life would be. It was kind of depressing. I didn't like the idea of having to leave Lynn and everybody and all the people here in the Philippines, but that's what I was committed to do if I had to do it. And then after I'd been here, I guess for about 8 months, you're welcome. I'd been here for about 8 months. I met one of my best buddies in the whole wide world, David. And he and I were talking, and he said, "Brother," he said, "why aren't you making videos and showing people what you're doing there?" He said, "People would love to help you and pay you to do that." And I said, "You're welcome, you're welcome." And I was just like, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "Yeah, you can be a nonprofit and you can get a PayPal account." And I didn't know anything. I still don't know much about computers and stuff like that. But I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do it." And so we became a 501c3, a nonprofit, and which is Future Love Inc. And I started a PayPal account. My son Brett has helped me out so much getting all that stuff done and getting a bank account set up for Future Love Inc. And praise the Lord, I haven't had to go back at all to America and work to try to support this ministry. It's all been done by, the awesome hearts of people spread all over the world that help us do what we do here. And we're coming up on 100,000 meals provided. That is absolutely amazing. And, considering what I thought I was going to have to do, to where God was like, "Yeah, that may be what you were thinking you were going to have to do, but I had it all worked out, I had it all worked out before you ever even thought about coming to the Philippines." So anyway, God is so good, and that was the commitment that I had for coming here and doing this ministry, was to sell everything, get rid of everything that I had. I had the clothes. And I laughed whenever I got here because I had a bag with just, literally a bag, weighed about 10 pounds, full of just a couple of pairs of shorts, a pair of jeans, and some shirts and underwear and socks, and that's it. So I literally just had the clothes on my back, and God has been good and blessed us. And like I said, we don't live super crazy lives. We wash our clothes and by hand, and we have struggles here, but we live among the people. I don't want to be some far off missionary that's that's disconnected from the people, that don't know their struggles and what they go through. We're right here. We're in the midst of it, and we see their struggles, and we share in their struggles, because the electricity is constantly going off here. The water is constantly not working here, and you know, we go through these battles. You know, there's diseases that come through. There's dengue fever, typhoid fever, malaria. There's all kinds of things that you have to deal with, and we're here. We're dealing with it. We do it, you know. And so anyway, we're boots on the ground, and you know, it's a blessing to be here and to be able to do this. Is not a life that 12 years ago I would have ever imagined that I would be part of. And you know, most people, if they had to come here, most people from the West, if they had to come here and experience the life that Lynn and I live for about a week, they would probably go home crying and in the fetal position. You know, it's like, let me go home, let me go home. But I've grown accustomed to it, and I couldn't imagine doing anything different from what I'm doing right now. I absolutely love this life. It's amazing, and I praise God for giving me this life, because it's real life. You know, it's not chasing after my wants and desires, or it's not really my wants and desires are to do this now. God changed my wants and desires. My wants and desires used to be for, you know, I wanted fast cars, fast women, you know, I wanted to race cars, I wanted motorcycles, and you know, all the things that this world had to offer, but God changed that. He changed my heart, and now it's just a heart to help people, you know. And so anyway, that's just a little bit of my story on how I got here, how I came to be. I was just on Facebook one day, and I saw a picture of Lynn feeding children. And I was just thinking, you know, I'd like to be a part of that. I was the Good Samaritan director at Titus County Cares in Mount Pleasant, Texas, and you know, I was enjoying doing that work and helping people out there. And but I just wasn't fulfilled. You know, I wanted more, and so I could tell you the long story, the supernatural way on how God connected Lynn and I, but I won't do that right now. It'd take too long of a video to do it. But it started with seeing a picture of her, just a picture of her and her brother-in-law feeding children. They had a great big old black pot, and she was stirring the pot, I think, and they were probably feeding the children oatmeal with Ovaltine in it, you know, because Lynn would go around and just get people to give money, give a few pesos here, a few pesos there, just so she could feed children, just whatever she could scrounge together and feed them. And it was a lot of these squatter children that were living down by the river in Malawi. They had no parents or anything like that. They're just like feral children living wild. And she would go down and do it, and I seen that, and I was never thought in a million years that somebody as beautiful as her would want to marry me, and my thoughts weren't even on that. It was just my thoughts were, I'd like to help them. You know, I think that'd be cool, and God worked out the rest. So anyway, that's just a little bit of our story on how I got here, and I hope you understand my commitment to being here. I sold everything. I give up everything to be here, and that's not bragging or boasting. That's just, I want you to know my commitment to what we're doing here. The main reason I wanted to share that with you guys was to give you an idea of my commitment to this ministry here. Plus, it's also came to mine and Lynn's attention that there's some folks out there who were false witnessing or spreading rumors about us, claiming that we're living a very, very nice life here on the donations that are sent to Future Love for feeding children. And you know, we're not like United Way and all of those huge corporation charities. You know, we're only 5 cents of every dollar goes towards helping people, and the rest goes to people's salaries. We're not like that. Every bit of clothing I have on me is used clothing. Everything we have here, this house, our truck, these huts, this land, and all that stuff, everything was given to us specifically for that person, that purpose. Money was given for this house. Money was given for the land. Money was given for the car, for these huts, and everything that we have. We don't spend any money on ourselves unless we are told that this is specifically for you. And we have people that provide for our needs every month. And believe it or not, there's 5 of us that live here, and we live on $550 American dollars a month. All right, we live a very meager salary. Everything else goes to this ministry, everything. All right, so I just want to set the record straight, because there's some folks out there spreading that rumor. It amazes me. The people that do that are the people who have the most money, and they don't help anybody. And I guess they feel guilty for not helping anybody, and they see folks like us that have committed ourselves to really helping people, and in order to make themselves feel better, they assume horrible things. And the only reason they assume horrible things about us is because that's what they do. Anyway, I wanted to set the record straight, because we're not here getting rich by any means. If I wanted to get rich, I could go back to America and I could run around sharing a prosperity gospel and, make up all kinds of lies and profit off of a ministry. But I'm not here for me. I'm here for God's purpose and to help people, to be a servant. I love you all. God bless.